Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and today it is time for a professional match of Zerg versus Terran, and we find ourselves on King's Cove LE. Now, word on the street has it that supposedly, and by the way, with word on the street, I mean the internet. And with the internet, I mean most notably my Twitter timeline. But anyways, word on the street has it that supposedly this game right here is a little bit ridiculous. I'm excited to figure out what it's all about, but supposedly, small spoiler alert, I guess, supposedly there are a ridiculous amount of tactical nukes going off in this game. Spawning here in the southeast corner, playing with the blue Zerg drones from Mexico, we have none other than Cham. And his opponent, in the opposite corner with the red Terran SCVs from South Korea, we're looking inside of the main base of KeeN. Now, I uploaded the video recently, where I think it was either the thumbnail of, or the title of the video that I called something along the lines of 10 plus tactical nukes. Supposedly, right, from what I've heard, this game has like 50 tactical nukes. What, 50? I don't think I've ever seen a game with... I mean, I casted an insane game that Innovation played a couple months back on this map. I don't really know exactly how many nukes there were in that game, but I think this one may very well top it. So I'm excited to figure out what it's all about. I wonder how many people clicked on this video and thought it was going to be like a best of 3 or maybe even a best of 5 series. Nope, just a single game. Anyway, so the only thing I know is that the replay timer is ridiculously long, that apparently it's an epic game, and that we will be looking at tons of tactical nukes. As we'll be making this video, Cham is considered to be the rank 43 in the world on Alugalek, whereas KeeN is the current rank 35. Interestingly enough, even though they're both in the top 50 out of like 2 million active ladder players, it's pretty insane. At least that's what Blizzard mentioned like a year or so ago. Apparently about a couple million people play StarCraft 2 every single season on the ladder, which is definitely pretty awesome. But anyways, even if you're in the top 50, right? Generally speaking, commentators don't really cast nearly as many of your games than if you were to be in like the top 10, right? Pretty insane. And I guess if you're in the top 10, your games don't get casted nearly as often as if you were in the top 3, right? I mean, I would call for basically any replay of any player in the top 3 that I can get my hands on. But yeah, it's just kind of, I guess, how human competition works. But I do want to start focusing on a variety of pro gamers as well, because there's so many great players out there, and they all have just their small little unique playstyle, right? Like, there's all these small differences that they make. But, well, I mean, ooh, did the Reaper actually die? Wow, that's a big deal. Anyways, if I can cast any Sero games, though, I'm pretty much always going to give priority to those. It's interesting, though. I guess it's just human nature and just human competition. I mean, StarCraft's all about competition. If you're in the top 10, you're just simply more interesting to watch than a player who's in the top 100, right? At the very least, I think so. And I think most people are probably true with that as well. Maybe it's not necessarily fair, but I guess StarCraft and pretty much all sports are extremely top-heavy. I don't really follow too many sports, but I can imagine in most other, like, physical sports, right? So get this. There's people out there that play sports that aren't behind their computer games. Do you guys know that? Anyways, I'm assuming that's, like, true in most other sports as well. I'm not entirely sure what the percentages are, but I can imagine that if you're, like, the rank 1 tennis player in the world, you probably earn at least 10 times as much as the rank 10 in the world, even though those salaries are probably ridiculous. Anyways, let's see where this game is going to go. So, the Reaper ended up dying there, which is actually rather scary here for KeeN. Usually, the Reaper will join with either the Hellions or it will go back into the Zerg base to scout a little while later. The thing is, if you lose the Reaper, sometimes it can be hard to notice whether or not there's going to be like a Zergling flood on your side of the map. So sending these 2 Hellions out actually a little bit later, because we wanted to wait for the other 2 Hellions to arrive, at the very least is going to allow KeeN to be a little bit safe here as well. Sending them straight across, if it would be a Zergling flood, he could be in so much trouble right now. Looks like he's going to be alright though. The Liberator's coming up here. Want to see if KeeN decides to go for a bio-based style. There we go. So Stimpack does start up, which is a clear indication that he does want to go for the biological army. Some players like to focus on mech right now. Looks like bio is once again back in action for a little while. Didn't really see any top-level Terran players play anything but Terran mech. Especially when like the Cyclone first got changed and a lot of people really started focusing on that Cyclone Hellion style. Nowadays, though, not necessarily the case. As once again, the flavor of the month apparently is gonna be bio. I like that, by the way. Having the Overlords over here so you can continue spreading creep. Really nicely done. A couple of Hellions, though, trying to make their way on the top of the ramp. Not quite a wall I've created here just yet. I think that's just the baneling nest so far. If he would have put down a second structure, would have been much easier to deal with. But in the grand scheme of things, not really a whole lot of damage is done. And Cham does manage to get the kill right there on that Liberator. A couple of banelings do start up just in case. And I like this. Completing the top of that wall. Obviously, he can open up an attack path once again a little while later by knocking down these rocks. But Hellions, believe it or not, they have a very hard time burning down rocks. I know. I mean, they can't kill it. I don't know how that works either, okay? I don't know how my space science fiction game, how that works. I don't know how, I guess, a flame buggy can kill rocks. Doesn't really make as much sense as a bunch of... Well, Marine shooting at it doesn't really make a lot of sense either. Zerglings biting away at rocks. How does a mountain die? Send in your flamey boys. No, I don't know. But apparently the rocks are gonna sit here for the time being. And obviously he can utilize them a little while later to create that attack path and to open up the top of that ramp. Little bit of damage being done right here by those Liberators. Always annoying. Surprised he actually decided not to uproot the Spore Crawler. I guess he was hoping that the Liberator would just simply, yeah, there you go, unsiege. Usually we see players focusing on the Spore Crawler first just because it's a little bit safer. And apparently the Liberator is feeling ambitious as well, hoping to get a queen. Not gonna happen this time around. Maybe it was hoping that the queen was going to be distracted by those beautiful seashells right there by the seashore, right? Maybe seashells, she sells them. But anyway, the Hellions trying to make their way across once again. Actually, very nice. Got himself like 5 creep tumors there. That hurts. That hurts quite a bit, actually. Obviously, there's a lot of queens already ready to move up as well. But so far, this is a very, very macro-focused game. So the lair has finished up here for Cham. And he's gonna go up towards what seems to be a Hydraling Bane army. KeeN just slowly but surely progressing through the ranks as well. He's focusing right here on Marines, as well as Medevacs, and then also Siege Tanks. This kind of feels like a more old school way of playing, right? This was very popular, especially like a year or so ago. We saw actually a lot of this. Hydraling Bane against Marine Siege Tank. Super common style. This always bothers me a little bit more than it probably should, but whenever I see like evolution chambers upgrading and they're not in sync. So he decided to obviously get the one upgrade sooner than the other. It bothers me more than it probably should. Am I the only one? Please tell me I'm not. It's surprisingly annoying because then all of a sudden you have to start managing 2 different upgrades and it doesn't just go for Zerg, right? Here we go. Small Marine squad. Use their combat drugs, their stim packs to pick up as much as possible. And they do manage to get a couple of Zerglings and then also a denial of the base. Hey, by the way, I was wondering, right? If Marines and Marauders both use the same combat drugs, right? And they both have a combat drug that allows them to like attack and move faster, right? How come if Reapers and Ghosts also come out of the barracks, how come they don't have Stimpack? I mean, I'm not suggesting to Blizzard that they should add Stimpack to the Ghosts, okay? I don't think we need that. But how does that work? Do you think they have like a different like locker room or something? I don't know. How do they get the drugs? Do you think the Terran Dominion just hands it over? I guess so. But why do they not just give it then to the Ghosts and like the Reapers either? Imagine Reapers with Stimpack. That'd be really fast. Anyways, once again, the Marines trying their very best to actually gun down this base. Looks like they will once again be able to focus it down. Hydraling Bane right there, sleeping on the job for just a little bit. I guess they were distracted since there's a Liberator going to town right now in the main, and there's a couple of Hellions on the right-hand side, clearing out some of the creep as well. How much damage has actually been done? Yeah, only 8 workers. You know what? Majority of that was actually, I think maybe all of it may have been killed by that Liberator. And I think that Liberator is not going to live that much longer either. Sorry, Liberator. Not going to happen. Looks like one of the medevacs there was picked off as well. And so far, Cham has done an excellent job just simply holding on. Alright, now if you're playing StarCraft, right, you pretty much always want to have some sort of win condition. So for a lot of players, especially if you're first getting started, I highly recommend playing timing attacks. So what I mean with that is pushing across the map when 1-1 finishes or when 2-2 finishes. And that's one of the reasons why it irks me so much if the upgrades are out of sync. Right now, they will be in sync, I suppose. But anyways, pushing across the map when upgrades finish is one of the easiest ways of dealing damage while you hopefully catch your opponent off guard. This is actually a bit of an odd push here by KeeN. This does not hit right when any upgrades finish up. I guess he's maybe planning on pushing super slowly and then hitting him in the face, clearing out some of the creep for now, but then hitting him in the face once 2-2 is done. But that is a little bit too far, right? It's like halfway done right now. Sitting out on the map for this long is a little bit tricky. Maybe that was literally just an army here that was meant to clear out some of the creep. Wow. All right, I was gonna say, like, that push really did not make a lot of sense. I love this. Look at the spores. They're ready. Pew, pew. Poor Marines, man. They just get shut down into the clear waters right here over King's Cove. Didn't even get to die on the seashells. Sad, man. He wanted to figure out what was going on in the main base. Scan does confirm indeed that the hive is going up as well as that spire. Imagine, dude, now I'm thinking about ghosts with Stimpack. It's not like ghosts aren't, like, strong already, right? Not that much creep over here, which is actually going to make this Terran push quite a bit scarier. +2, by the way, about a half minute or so from finishing right now. I like this a lot better. But apparently Cham has decided, you know what, if your entire army is caught on the left-hand side of the map, I can just set up a surround really, really easily. +2 is about 12 seconds from finishing right now, but the swarm is gonna engage before that's done. That's a massive deal. All of the siege tanks, marines, marauders, hackbats, because it's a family-friendly show. And I'm feeling memey today. And the medevacs ended up getting surrounded really bad, and that immediately shuts it down. And that's the tricky part. If you're out on the map for too long, sometimes your opponent is just simply gonna surround you before your upgrades finish up. I can guarantee you, right? If that upgrade was done, right? If those +2 upgrades were done, that Terran army would have done so much more damage. It's significant. It's very significant. So basically the way upgrades work is every single shot gets +1 damage. So for a Marauder, for example, every single shot that it deals gets +1 damage. And that's significant. Marines attack super quickly. +1 is great. And then, obviously, if you have +2, not only do you get +2 damage per shot, but also all incoming damage gets denied with 2 hits per damage point. Which is very significant. I mean, you know, it's a bit of a nerdy thing to discuss, but you're watching a grown man commentate video games. I mean, don't blame me, okay? I'm a bit of a nerd, but it's okay. It's alright. Don't worry about it. Double Spire. Okay, so we're gonna go... Well, I guess we already knew that, right? We're gonna go into the extreme late game. Nobody really goes Double Spire unless you really plan on upgrading your, believe it or not, your Corruptors or your Brute Lords a little bit as well. That's gonna be expensive. There's Vipers available right now, too. I don't think you want to engage there. Nah, that's a bad idea. Vipers obviously very good, especially with Abducts and Blinding Clouds on those siege tanks. Easily the scariest unit right here in this army. Has Cham, by the way, ever moved across? Not really, right? He's just sort of been allowing Terran to do whatever. He's like, alright, you do whatever. I'll just win in the long run. There we go. Blinding Clouds go up on all of those siege tanks. Those are the sustained damage dealers here for that Terran army. Those are the main units that can easily kill those Banelings. But the Banelings, they connect with the tanks right now. And even though that's not really that great of a trait, it will be a trait that Cham takes. Because slowly but surely, he is stacking up towards his late game army. Looks like he wants to hit what seems to be a bit of a Brute Lord timing attack. I do like this though. Continuous harassment right here by KeeN. Unloading medevacs in some pretty cheeky spots. Spine crawlers trying to be annoying as well, but essentially what usually happens is the bigger that Zerg army becomes, right? Like the stronger the late game army becomes, the more units will be caught up in, for example, Corruptors, for example, Brute Lords, for example, I don't know, Infestors. They're just all slow, right? So the longer that the game goes, usually the slower that the Zerg army becomes, and you can really abuse that mobility with medevacs especially. There's a fusion core coming up right now. A fusion core. Now, I want to believe, and this is every time that I've seen a fusion core, ever since like I first started playing StarCraft, I want to believe that this is going to be for heavy amounts of battle cruisers, right? Hate to disappoint a lot of you guys, it's probably just going to be Liberator ranged, which is, you know, you require a fusion core to make that, but I want to believe, okay, I'm with you on that one. I would like to see a mass switch to like tons and tons of those dudes. Jam, trying to set up a bit of a cheeky set of, I guess those were Spores and Spines? Trying to get a little, I don't think they were Spires, right? They look kind of similar, but yeah, he's trying to set up at least some Spores and Spines over there. Maybe to try and prevent ghosts from like moving up, right? Yeah, that's I think what it is. If a ghost like moves in, you have a bit of a spine crawler forest, and it's going to be difficult to make its way past that. A lot of the Terran army actually caught right here on the top right-hand corner of the map. Raptors picking up a whole lot of those medevacs, and that was actually a really good trade there by Cham. Alright, so let's have a look. Units lost-wise, Cham has done an excellent job, right? He's done a very good job just simply holding on, and right now we've arrived at a point where his army is looking menacing. This is the kind of army composition that Zerg dreams are made of, right? This is where you want. Getting a whole bunch of those Brute Lords out. The thing is, flying them across the map takes about like 30 seconds. On some maps, it's easier to pull this kind of thing off. I mean, say for example, you got this unit composition on like a cyber forest, right? You would be able to just simply fly them over the crevices of the map and just fly them straight through the center without the Terran really being able to do very much about it without heavy amounts of medivacs. Or Vikings, rather. Yeah, in this case, I feel like the Brutes are gonna have a very hard time crossing. Because where are you gonna engage? Like, I guess in this case, you can quite easily take this one out. But if this base wasn't taken, right? But it was just those over here. Or this one over here and those. It's pretty tricky to engage. Because you never know what's like waiting on the high ground or if there's any other aggression coming up. Anyhow, very passive. I kind of would like to see Cham being a little bit more active at this point though, right? This is a very scary Zerg army. He just finished up 1-1 for the air units, which I assumed he would use as like a trigger point to move across, but nope. He's simply gonna wait until he's got more. By the way, advanced ballistics. Where is it? That's the ranged upgrade I was talking about. So even though he could technically go ahead and make a bunch of battle cruisers right now, it's just gonna be for the Liberators. They will gain additional range on where they can put down that circle, and it's very, very helpful. Especially when you're trying to zone out a Zerg opponent. But here we go, guys! It has started. It has begun. The first tactical nuke is coming up. Okay, let me drink some water before this game gets a little wild. By the way, if my voice sounds weird today, I don't know if it does, but hay fever is particularly awful today. Don't really know exactly why. It's just rough. Excuse me. Marines and Marauders. Trying to get something done here on the left-hand side. Mostly because they know that the majority of that Zerg army is distracted on the right-hand side as well. I love that one Overlord here, by the way. Providing a little bit of vision there. This one was here since the beginning of the game, right? Providing a little bit of vision for incoming medivacs. Look at actually those Overlords on the minimap. Right? He can see all medivacs trying to sneak by the right-hand side. But also giving him some vision here to continue spreading that creep. Do think that's rather important. Alright, so more tactical nukes are coming up. Should we count them together? I want to know how many there are in total. I actually think there's a counter. Here we go. The first one. Going up right here. On the right-hand side of the map. Spore Crawler. Okay, there you go. Spore Crawler is going to move forward. Trying to get some value. At the same time, though, we saw once again the Terran player moving in on the left-hand side. Trying to abuse some of that multitasking. KeeN hitting at 3 different angles at once, and even though the Ghost apparently felt ambitious, wanted to move up the main ramp as well. Not quite gonna happen. A couple of Corruptors will end up dying here, trying to gun down a medevac. Not really happening here so far either. But the first tactical nuke is in the books. Alright, so what this comes down to right now is that we really need to see Cham defending against that without taking too much damage. So a tactical nuke is 100 gas, 100 minerals, if I'm not mistaken. And Terran players have become very, very vigilant at just simply making as many as they possibly can. A 4th Ghost Academy coming up here as well. There it is. Oh, did you see that camera work? I'm doing this live, right? I'm doing this at the same time while I'm giving commentary to the... Oh my god. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's not that difficult. Oh my god, there it is again. Did you see it going to the center of your screen? Another Ghost trying to get some value here in the center. Not gonna happen. Wonderful control so far by Cham, honestly. Yeah, I think that's what these Spines of Sports are doing. They're really just like small groups of Zerg units and structures trying to shut down any kind of ghosts that are trying to get in position. This is a very famous one right over here. Yep, and he knows about it. Cameraman, thank you very much. Oh wait, it was me. Trying to once again get a good connection. He knows that the Ghost is here somewhere. Doesn't really know exactly where it is though, and that's gonna hurt. As this Ghost, there you go, ends up getting quite a couple of kills. 4 drones there, certainly paying for it. At the same time, once again, another push, another nuke. Army on the right-hand side, trying to distract the Zerg from being able to find out where this army's at, but there you go. That's one way of cleaning it up, abducting the Ghost, and then killing it with brute force. Not the lowest level way of playing it. I always wonder how pro gamers like... Oh my god. I always wonder how like pro gamers decide to hotkey these armies, right? Because this is a very tricky set of units. Dude, there's so many nukes already. I think there's like a counter right there on the left, but I don't know if this is accurate though. I feel like it's already been more than 3 right now. Anyways, if someone feels like counting, let me know down below in the comment section, okay? We need to know. The people deserve to know. I'm here to commentate. Counting, doing math. I don't know if counting is considered math, but doing math while making videos at the same time. Everyone's made that mistake at some point, especially while live streaming, okay? You don't math and stream, not even once. It's a terrible suggestion. It's one of the reasons why I'm terrible at playing Hearthstone. Although that one is mostly just counting. Dude, so many nukes. 2 of them being deployed right now at the same time. Oh, the one on the left was spotted. One on the right, though. Okay, he did find the red dot. So I guess at the very least that will prevent these drones from dying. But that goes, looks like it's on a mission. Already picked up 6 confirmed kills there. It's gonna move into the main base instead and then just enjoy the view. Don't want to get your boots too dirty, right? Creep. Probably doesn't help. Another nuke going up right here on the left-hand side. Bit of a random spot, but I guess this one is just trying to kill the static defense. So, he's looking to get some value. Right, so essentially right now he's trading minerals for gas. As long as he gets at least some decent value, it's all good. Once again, another nuke going up right here in the center of the map. And we see more and more of them being constructed. Are there more Ghost Academies? How many Ghost Academies are there? 6. Ah, there's a couple over there on the in the natural as well. Very cool. Oh my god, so many nukes being deployed all over the place. Once again, the army on the right-hand side. Nukes trying to get some value. You gotta be cautious. Gotta be careful. Ooh, the one over there will get killed. The one on the left, though, does stay alive, although it seemed to have damaged itself a little bit. That radiation. Another tactical nuke on the left-hand side. Once again, this Ghost. Or maybe at least its predecessor. I don't know. Whoever came before this one. Ooh, rough. So, by the way, if you abduct the unit, it does cancel tactical nuke. So, it's technically a way of dealing with it, but it's very difficult to achieve. Yeah, rather than going for, like, more static defense, I kind of feel like he needs to just leave some army over there. Because these Marines and Marauders are continuously trying to get some work done. By the way, I really want to compliment KeeN on continuously establishing more and more dominance on this map, right? He's got 80 workers, so that's apparently his cutoff point. But he's expanding left, right, center, top left, left hand. Like, he's going everywhere. In the end, unless like a massive nuke connects with the Zerg army, as another nuke goes up, unless a massive nuke connects with the Zerg army, this is likely going to be decided by whoever mines more. And at this point, I gotta put the favor right there for KeeN. KeeN obviously has got a lot of bases. I mean, the same can really be said for Cham here. But already KeeN is up to, well, 6,500 minerals. He's gotta be careful. Ooh, that nuke, that nuke, that nuke. There's another nuke going off in the center. Okay, one Brute Lord there ended up hurting. One Viper apparently, excuse me, got picked off as well. And another couple of those Pokey Boys get picked off too. Apparently the Ghost is gonna try and deploy another nuke. At least in a similar spot. The damage is starting to hurt though. That camera boy, dude, cameraman needs to get fired. That was awful. Did you see that? That was terrible. I tried though. Here we go, here we go. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one, that's a good one. The Ghost, it does get picked up. Ghosts actually take a surprisingly long time to die as well, right? You're playing with fire though, if you're Cham here. And KeeN knows that at some point it likely will connect. Right? At some point it might very well connect with that massive Zerg army. And he's got money for days. Like, he can continue doing this. He only needs one lucky connection. And then all of a sudden he's gonna be in a very good spot. 5 tactical nukes being made here at one given moment. I kind of feel like you should add on more Ghost Academies. Am I crazy? Ghost Academies aren't that expensive. You can make them really easily. Alright, once again, more tactical nukes being deployed. 2 simultaneously. It's the first time, okay? First time caught on camera. 2 nukes being deployed simultaneously with excellent camera work. The one on the left was killed. The one on the right, though. Well, I guess this is center, technically. That one is gonna get quite a bit of value. Once again, another nuke right here on the left as well. Dude, this spot over here has been lethal. Look at this. I mean, yeah, one Ghost will get picked off right now. Whoop-de-doo. One on the left, though. Looks like it's gonna get some drone kills. 17 workers. Bam! In the blink of a nuke. Oh my god. Alright, well at least he got himself an EMP off before he died there. I feel like the life expectancy for a Ghost in this game has been rather low. Right? Not very good. I mean, yeah, they get to have an awesome job, and yeah, they don't get combat drugs. And yeah, oh my god, they've got friends and brothers and all that. They still, oh god, woo, we didn't have energy there for abduct, I think. But they still end up dying very easily as well. So the ultimate late game Terran army is usually tactical nukes, siege tanks, liberators, ravens, ghosts, that kind of thing. Essentially, you always want to have at least some of your army, though, caught up in marines and marauders. Maybe a couple medevacs as well, so you can stim forward and deal some damage. But look at this. KeeN, like, you know, I mentioned it a couple minutes ago, right? But he's slowly but still expanding. Slowly but surely, still making his way across the map. Oh my god, the double nuke again. Never seen that before, and then all of a sudden twice in one game. Incredible. Ghost over here in the center, though. Sorry, Poke Boys. Poke Boys. Got a Pokemon. Oh. I mean, now he's deploying from several different areas, though. 3 nukes! I count 3 nukes! At the same time! You've activated my trap card, says KeeN. Oh my god. Wow. That ghost ended up dying by its own nuke. It's a little bit sad. Anyways, it's very difficult already to find the red dots, right? To look for where the nuke is located is not easy. And then if you're at the same time also defending against marines and marauders, it's very tricky. But then if Terran's going for 3 nukes at once, I mean, what are the chances? Are you gonna find all of them? Look at the money, by the way, in the bank. Both players. Cham has got 10,000 gas. What in the world? So, some people might ask, Loko, what's the good counter here to nukes? Essentially, you want to try and not lose all your army to it. That's kind of it, right? Like, if they don't really kill that much and you spot them properly, you can essentially make it deal no damage. I mean, keep in mind, right? Yes, nukes are not particularly expensive. But the ghosts seem to die with them pretty much every time as well. And ghosts are not cheap units. Like, there's a lot of... How many have died so far? 21. It's very expensive. Very, very expensive. And that kind of thing just simply does not help. So, essentially, you want to try and get cost-efficient trades so that once eventually Terran runs out of money, you're going to be in a wonderful spot that you can overwhelm them with your insane trading. It's just that it's extremely brutal because it takes like one little misstep and you end up in a pretty awful spot. This is though what happens when you decide to not play any kind of timing attacks. If you just simply let Terran do whatever, this is what Terran is allowed to do, right? If Cham would have played a little bit more aggressive this game, he probably would have been able to prevent this from happening. So he must feel comfortable playing against this mass nuke style. Oh my god. Oh my god. Terrible camera work. Oh, dude. That's 2 ghosts, though. But that's also 1 dead hatchery. Not a way that one's gonna stay alive. Haha, 1 nuke to kill the Brutelings. Brilliant. And I think eventually these ghosts, they're not gonna live to tell the tale. Worst moment here for the Zerg. That's one of the most painful things, okay? So, the whole game, you're trying to harass Terran. And then once Terran has so many command centers that they don't care anymore. Look at this! Look at this! Once they have so many command centers that they don't care anymore, they're just gonna start donating USCVs. It sucks. You still kill them, because you don't really... But obviously, it opens up more opportunity right now for more and more of those bio units to walk on the ground. As KeeN was maxed out. And he must have such a big bank that he doesn't care anymore. My god. Once again, another nuke coming up here. Minerals. Pretty heavily in favor of KeeN, who's mining about 3,000 a minute. Obviously, these nukes are gonna run out, but still a very good trade. Ghost on the left-hand side of the screen was picked off. Hatchery is slowly being reacquired. Now he's just going for lucky ghost nukes, dude. Like, this is just him trying to get a little bit greedy now. Trying to just simply nuke a Terran or the Zerg army. I guess it's a bit of a gamble, right? You're playing nuke roulette. He's trying to play nuke roulette right now, or he's trying to get a decent trade. Maybe the first 50 times it will not land, but at some point it might, right? And that's when you're happy. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think this hatch may actually die. Dude, he doesn't see the... Okay, no, he does see the ghost. Is it too late? Is it too late to apologize? No, it's not. It's not too late. All right, so what's Cham's win condition? Well, like I mentioned, he really wants to try and stop this Terran player from mining. I feel like that's his top priority right now. Essentially what we got right here. Should we do a little bit of counting? We can do some counting together, right? So let's just pretend that nothing else is going on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bases for Zerg, right? Okay, a bit of a fight over here. Don't worry about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? I think... Yeah, no, I think it's 9. It's 9 for Terran. I mean, it's just 8 plus 1. I did the math. I just told you, you should never do that. But anyways, yeah, this is, you know, like, it would be okay if Cham was getting favorable traits here. But he's really not getting that very much. Plus, he's not mining more than his opponent, right? Now, obviously, he's definitely not in a bad spot. I mean, you can never count out a Zerg player with 16,000 resources in the bank, maxed upgrades, and the strongest army that they can make. I'm just looking at it, and in the long run, right? If they were to trade one-on-one, Terran is going to come out ahead, right? It might take another 20 minutes, but eventually these Zerg bases are going to run out. Eventually that bank is going to be at 0. And at that point, eventually as well, we'll see the Terran player pulling ahead. So that seems to be what KeeN is going for right now. He knows that this base is not mining, and he's taking every single base on his side of the map. Okay, he does not need to give away these ghosts for free, though. This is starting to get a little bit greedy here. Just play it out slowly but surely. And just prevent your opponent from mining this. Or mine it yourself. You know, like he could plant down a couple planetaries here. Yeah, just go. I don't think it's a bad spot. Dude, he's going to make a planetary right over there. It's not really where Zerg is going to scout, right? We won't know, but you can slow push towards the expansion. And that's really the only thing that matters, right? If you mine more and you trade one-on-one, you're going to come out ahead. Water break. KeeN, I told you it was a water break, dude. Why would you end up nuking? A little bit rude. Oh my god. The damage that these nukes are doing. So can we have a look at units lost? You know what? Zerg is still, like, ahead when it comes to units lost. The amount of ghosts, I mean, I talked about their life expectancy, right? 44 have gone down in this game so far. And actually, Cham is still in a favorable spot. I'm just worried that he's not mining this base. Like, this is my biggest concern here. He's not going to be able to mine that base if it continues like this. And Terran's just simply mining more. You're not going to be able to have an easy time, like, getting a tempo advantage against the Terran army like this either. Great splitting right there, by the way, by the Terran. But you're not really going to get, like, a tempo advantage. Because there's so many planetaries and stuff, you can't just roll over them and just try and... Oh, God. Misclick. A couple of swarm hosts. Activates the locust. That certainly is not intentional, right? I think. Yeah, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Cham, no! Cham, no! That sucks, man. That sucks. Alright, one ghost right over here. We got the peaceful Terran music in the background. But this game is nothing but peaceful. War never changes. And even though the ghost will probably end up dying here in a little bit, it still ends up getting a nuke. And Cham is starting to fall apart in some ways. Oh my god. Dude, it's gonna come down to this base over here, right? So I guess there's 18 expansions on this map. And if KeeN has 10 of them, and Cham has 8, that's an issue, right? That's an issue. Now this is excellent. Cham finally starting to make a little bit of a move for it, guys. Took him 34 minutes, rather. 34 minutes, he's finally making an attack. Maybe a little bit too passively. There you go. He ends up killing this base, and that's critical. Still, though, at the same time, the Terran is trying to secure the base over here. I love this by KeeN, by the way. Slowly moving forward, trying to take a base over there. Oh, a lot of great snipes as well going up. At the same time, though, the Zerg army trying to move on the right-hand side of the map. Oh, siege tanks, liberators, and missile turrets preventing this Zerg army from getting a good trade. And there we go. Planetary fortresses coming up. All right, so KeeN lost the base on the left, takes the base on the right. He can resecure the base on the left with relative ease as well. I mean, this one is already, for all intents and purposes, mined out. So he's already got what he came for. All that KeeN needs to do right now to close this one out is get himself one really, really, really good engagement, right? He just needs to wait, get a good engagement, trade one-on-one, and eventually the amount of resources he's got is pulling through. Cham though, starting to run low on minerals. Oh my god, can you believe it? 8 base Zerg running low on minerals. I guess it doesn't help when you kill your own hatchery, and this base is actually not really mining that much either, but... oh god. KeeN, absolutely brutal so far. I kind of wish he would add on infestors as well. I think infestors could be one of those things that you can come back with. I know, for example, Cyril loves to go infestors against this kind of style. He will try and get a fungal growth on the ghosts. Like, this is a super expensive clump of ghosts, right? These ghosts, ugh, rough one. These ghosts right here, they cost like 1,000 resources to make. A lot more than that, actually. So, yeah, getting one fungal growth can turn the tide of battle. Apparently, though, Cham has decided he doesn't really want to do that. Going just for Corruptors against Vikings is also a little bit tricky. Once again, though, Zerg army moving on the left-hand side of the map. They're chasing away the SCVs that are trying to mine this out. But like I mentioned, the command center is already done pretty much. I mean, there's some mineral patches here, a couple hundred minerals. Nothing too crazy. But we're getting to the point where these maps are starting to run low. Where the map is starting to mine out. Remember those mules from earlier? They already softened up these mineral patches quite a bit. And even though KeeN is not getting the best traits, he's losing a lot more. He's lost 10,000 resources more than his opponent. He's mining more than 10,000 resources more. Oh my god, there's one nuke over here. Does he see it? Okay, he does. Oh my god, no, he doesn't. Oh, that was a close one. Those brutes almost ended up eating a massive nuke to the face. Planetary Fortress, though, does get picked off here. The Brute Lord starting to push through. Goes from the low ground, sniping as many of those Corruptors as possible. Corruptors super low in hit points. And once again, the Terran army gets chased away. But as soon as you do that, right? Maybe he wants to continue pushing here as well and try and take out more bases. As soon as you do that, the Terran army is moving in on the left-hand side. It's so tempting right now for Terran to spend all of your money on more Liberators, mix in battle cruisers, go for more ghosts and all that, right? But having a small mobile hit squad to take out bases when the Zerg is distracted is wonderful. Really good work there. So yeah, it's an eye for an eye once again, and that's a trait that KeeN will take. Hatchery finally being acquired here on the right-hand side, but I don't really see it happening. Am I crazy? Maybe it will happen. Marines Marauders do get picked off. Once again, not really a favorable trade there for KeeN. But look at the bank. Cham is out. Cham's broke, guys. He's got 7,500 gas. Okay, not quite, but close enough. He's got a lot of freaking gas, but he has no more minerals. Infestors finally coming up. I feel like they're a little late. I genuinely feel like they're a little bit late. Double ghost, or once again, double nuke here coming up. He does need to kill the ghost. First ghost goes down, second ghost goes down as well. We see a couple of infested Terrans right now underneath those Vikings. They will make short work of any flyer unit. Marines, or rather Zerglings, trying to surround some of the ghosts as well, but ghosts are not necessarily weak against this either. A couple of those Hydralisks trying to get the value, but dude, KeeN has been super methodical this game, right? He could have tried to close this out 10 minutes ago, but he decided, you know what? I'm mining more. Eventually, you will need to try and take another base. And when that happens, that's when I strike. And that's what he's doing. Slowly, methodically, moving out. Double nuke once again deployed. Oh, fungal growths are available though. Okay, instead he decides to go for some infested swarm eggs. The nukes are zoning away that Zerg army. All of the infested Terrans die. And that means that there's no more energy right now. Well, at least a little bit of energy in these infestors, but that's not going to be that much. The Zerg army never took a nuke to the face, but it is being picked apart. Cham's life is cut into pieces. That was his last resort. And suffocation, no breathing. KeeN is the one who eventually, after freaking 39 minutes, who eventually is the one who obtains the victory. What a ridiculous game. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. A special shout out to the Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. I appreciate it. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you once again in the next one.